Okay,
Did
so
it start? It looks like it has started. Yes.
happy podcasting. Um, a little bit of a down day, but there is for me a narrative. I don't know that my narrative, the way that this podcast is going to go, is your narrative. But for me, um, Arsenal proved that they belong at the top of European football and that everyone knows it, including Paris Saint Germain and their manager. So that's a narrative for me. This is Stateside Gooners. We are season 2, episode
139 is where we
139.
are at.
Right. So that's where we are. We won the Premier League. We played 63 games. It's not the most games a team has ever played, but it's up there. I think Liverpool, I just saw, played 67 one time, and Chelsea, when you get into all of that summer stuff, the Super Cup and all that kind of stuff in January as well, they played 69. So this didn't include last summer. This is a title winning, Champions League winning, whatever. But 63 games. We took the best team in Europe based on them winning it, but also, I mean, they're a good team, to a shootout in the final. And so their players were congratulating us. Their manager said both teams deserve to win. Our players, Henry, Martin Keown, who we both love so much, they all said the same thing. It's not failure, it's a foundation. It feels like failure to me, but the fact that we got there also speaks volumes.
Well, I want to kind of do a quick reset, because we got to talk about what we did yesterday. You and I were together. So you, me, and a couple of our old friends, your brother and Jorge, we were all together at Lives in Baltimore, which is where the Charm City Gooners meet for all of the matches. And
that's right.
It was a lot of fun. That's the first time I had been to that one. I think we've been to a different place where there you go, Charm City Gooners.
Up Charm City.
Yeah, we were at a previous place, but now they've moved, they've relocated. So it was nice to see that space. It's huge. So many people can get in there and watch the match. They have tons of televisions. They have a back room. Nice. Everything is. They set it up. It was really well run. Lots of really. They had those. What are those candles called? The candles that you light.
Oh, like safety candles, kind of like the
votive
glass
candles.
Yeah, votive candles, right. But they're long, narrow glass tube with wax inside.
They had all of the players essentially, and after the match, I walked up to sort of look at them, and somebody had lit all of them. They were all lit at one point in time, because they were like all very warm. Yeah, exactly. So lots of fun, good setup. The scene was great. I think we've got some videos from that of the setup, and there you go. Way cool. I thought that was just really neat. How they have all of I think most of the players, if not all of them, are sitting
who's there on that side?
See, I think that's Rice, right? It's Rice and Gabby with Arteta. No,
you don't think that's
there? Oh, so on the far right is.
Oh, this is Martin right in the middle of the candles. Yeah. So that's got to be. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. I just couldn't figure out if it was Ben White or if it was Rice or who that person is.
Yeah, the one on the far right, it looks like Ricky. Yes? No? The candle, you mean?
I'm not talking about this.
The picture?
I'm talking about this.
Yeah, the picture's definitely Rice.
Okay.
Yeah, the picture's definitely Rice. But neat environment, great place to see a game. I hadn't. Last week, I went to watch Crystal Palace and Arsenal play their last game live in a bar with others, and that was pretty fun. So it was good to get back together and watch this final with you, number one, because I
Well,
don't.
thank you.
When's the last time we have watched a game together? Right? I mean, I
Been a
can't
while.
remember it's been a really long time. I don't think we've done it this season. This might have been the only time. So it was good. It was good to see your brother. It was good to hang out and see Jorge, who made it the whole way up from Florida. So
Did he go home
it
today?
was yeah, he went home really early. He had to get back. And all the anticipation and all the build up, because we were there early enough. We got in about 10 for a noon start, right?
This is
And we
correct.
did talk to a couple of the people that were kind of in line right around 10 o'clock. And that was fun. It was fun to see some of the Arsenal fans. And it was just good to see the excitement and the anticipation that was in the crowd. I don't know how did you feel about the whole scene?
It was light. There was a lot of happy anticipation. I think there were a lot of people there were a lot of 1-0 to the Arsenal predictions.
Chance? Yeah.
I suspected the over under was 2.5, and I suspected we'd go over. I predicted Arsenal 2-1.
That's right. You did say that.
We were close. We were one penalty not given away from a 2-1 victory, but
grumble.
Yeah, grumble. Indeed. But yeah, I think there was a lot of joy. I think there was a lot of anticipation. It was happy anticipation. It wasn't worried anticipation. Like if I think about had we gone to a game leading into, say, Team 115 Charges and Arsenal going up there to play them, if there were all of those people in the bar and we were there, I would have described it, or assume the description would fit, anticipation, but worried anticipation. This was
concern. This was not that. This was you're right. It was a celebration almost.
Yes.
Of the entire season, and just people were really giddy. It was fun to see. Good environment.
I think
we'll be back there. I think
it was another chance. Because I was there a couple weeks ago, but it was another chance for everybody to be together and celebrate what we already won.
True.
So.
That is true. Match. Any lineup surprises there at the very beginning as we get underway?
Well, the fact that
they announced it about 15 minutes before whenever they announced it.
Yeah, I think the surprise that Timber didn't start, even though he was fit, and we were very worried about who was going to fill that spot.
Who would play that, right?
Right, because Kvaratskhelia,
nice,
is so fast. He's quick.
Kvaratskhelia,
he's so fast. So was Mascara going to be able to keep up with him? And you had talked pregame about how you appreciate the way that Timber physically stays close.
Yes.
In his defensive style, and Mascara's not like that. And yet he did play him pretty close.
You're right. Something changed with Mascara's play yesterday, because I think he was very much attached to Kvaratskhelia. I know.
Kvara.
He was very attached to him, and he did really well early on against him. So I was somewhat disappointed at that we didn't get to see Timber start straight away, because I thought that would be the best way. If Timber was healthy enough to play, you would start him instead of having him come on as a sub, run his socks off, and then let Mascara come in and face a more tired team. I think that would have probably been the only big change I would have made in the lineups.
I was a little surprised, just based on speed and defense, that Martinelli didn't start, and the fact that he scores in the Champions League.
Oh, you thought that was over Trossard?
Yeah, I think I would have maybe gone for his defense and for his speed on breakouts, especially if you're not going to start Gyökeres because of the history, especially in the final. You're going to start. My brain is going. Help me here. Who do we start up top? Kai. Thank you.
Yeah,
So instead of starting,
Kai. Yeah.
if you're starting Kai instead of Gyökeres, because of his history in the game, then
the same follows suit for Martinelli, right?
I think you go the other way. Yeah, so that you've got a little, and you have to start Saka. You have to. So I think those would have been my three, and then I think the other one that I was surprised by is really the youth, and I don't know what's going on with Zubamendi that he didn't get in to start, and MLS went in again. So that surprised me because I feel like I guess the plan was to sit back, because I think if your plan is to sit back, then maybe MLS was the guy. I don't know. Maybe MLS was always going to be the guy. But those were the three changes I would have made.
Those are the ones. Okay. So right out of the gate, we do get a goal, right? Kai does come through and we score. Brilliant goal and hugs all around. That was the best. That was the place where we were erupted.
That's
because we're barely 6 minutes. Right. I completely, yes, shouting, screaming, thrilled that Kai was able to basically carry the ball the entire length of half of the pitch, and then finished. And
it's very Martinelli dribble.
Weird finish for him. He skied it, which was great. I wish he would have skied it as we went into the second half, or late in the first half, rather. But this was unexpected. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have been thrilled with the 0-0 after the first 10 minutes. So for me, do you I mean, you mentioned it earlier with the selection of MLS. Do you think that the strategy changed after we scored so early in this match? Do you think all of a sudden it's, okay, we're going to cede possession entirely? And I'll just give you some full-time stats. Possession was 25% Arsenal, 75% PSG. Total passes, 285 for Arsenal, 889, so almost 1,000 passes for PSG in this game. So, I mean, that's clearly not what Arsenal wanted to do, to set out, but you score in the first 5 minutes. Does that change what you try to do? Do the players just automatically do it, or does Arteta shout something from the sidelines? Did they talk about it beforehand? If we score early, let's sit back. I mean, what happens?
I think, I mean, I don't know what happens, but my take here is that, well, my take is I have no idea. Okay. First of all, I have no idea. What it looked like is that they were controlling the whole thing the first 6 minutes anyway. And we got a bit of luck and he scores a goal. And they have an oh shit moment, because the last thing they wanted is for us to score early, because they know we can sit behind all the rest of the 94 minutes and win 1-0. We've done it before. We've done it a lot. I think that the idea was always to sit back a little more and absorb, because that's what we do. That's who this team this year is. Scoring the goal helped us because it meant we could do that more confidently. But I think that their plan was always to possess, and our plan was to know that they were going to want to possess.
Okay. I guess if you set up the team that way, I would like to have seen us have some more quick strike capability, some more countering people. Back to your point about Martinelli, I think he should have been playing if that was the original plan. For whatever reason, I just think they changed their mind. The players or Arteta, somehow they decided to adapt their strategy for this after scoring so early, because I would like to have seen them continue to put the pressure on because Arsenal were pressing in that first bit. I know you say that PSG had control of the ball, but Arsenal were pressing. They were putting their best foot forward, and then all of a sudden they score, and then it's retreat back into your defensive third.
You can't do that level of pressing um, for 90 minutes. In fact, we did it for the first 5 minutes of the second half, and didn't really after that. So we did that level of pressing for about 5 minutes at the beginning of the game, 5 minutes at the beginning of the second half, and that was about it. And maybe the idea was that we would do that until we got a goal, and then do the other. And we got it at 5. Maybe it would have been if we didn't get something in the way of a counterattack in 6 minutes, maybe we would have pressed for 4 or 5 more minutes until we scored at 11. I don't know.
I guess for me, it's just before halftime. Kai does have this chance to make it 2-0. He does have the ball. He gets put through. I can't remember who sent him through with the pass, but he does have this chance, this opportunity. And unlike the first shot that he had, he skied that one and it went in. This time he decides to try to play it on the ground to the far post, and it's easily blocked by one of their defenders. And really thought that was a big moment for Arsenal. And had he been successful, things are really, really looking good at halftime. I mean, what did you think about the rest of that half? It was all hands on deck to defend. It was put the ball over the press. We didn't do a whole lot of trying to pass through their press whenever we did
didn't
have
pass
the possession.
Well. We didn't pass well anyway. We just didn't, right? I mean, we didn't pass well at all. 60. What were the stats? 60.
All I have is 285 total passes, and I want to say it was 65% success rate on passes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
We did have a really good 68. 69, I suppose, if you round it up. It's 69%.
I mean, that's a terrible. 68.
That's really bad.
And they had 91. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
yeah.
They're making it look good because we had only 44 backwards passes, but yeah. I don't know. What was the question?
Well, it's largely, what did you think about the attempts to break their press? Do you think that none of that seemed to work? We just kept getting it. They would just collect the ball and bring it right back at us.
Our average possession in the Champions League this run was 50.2%.
Wow. Okay.
Probably, I was just going to say, probably shocking. Their average was over 64%. So they always have more of the ball than we do. I mean, we didn't do a preview for this game, but I think everybody knew they were going to have more of the ball than we did. I probably would have gone 70-30 because we are comfortable seeding the ball. I probably would have gone 70-30. This was a little bit off of that, 75-25, call it. But I might have been 70-30 and thought like, okay, we can still win the game on 30%. But I think that 5% mattered. If you look at the end of the first half, when you're talking about that last 3-5 minutes, it was almost like the last minute or two plus some extra time.
Mm-hmm.
We had the better of the ball. And I would have liked to see us come out and do that in the first part of the second half, because we didn't have lots of chances to get through their defense. And we did a lot of long balls. What do the stats say?
Yeah, that's a lot of what Raya was doing. The Arsenal didn't seem to want to try to beat their press passing wise. 64
long balls.
Yeah. That's an unusual number for
I mean, I don't know. Out of 285 passes, 64
It's a pretty
seems
high percentage.
significant. Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty high
So, I mean,
percentage.
it's about a quarter, give or take.
Mhm.
Not quite. So I don't know. I don't. This game frustrated me because I knew we were going to concede possession a lot. I thought we could win this game 2-1 because our defense would be able to hold them out. We almost did win it 2-1, but I don't have an answer for that question, and I feel like I'm getting frustrated because I don't.
Well, second half starts, and right away, the referee books Mascara with a yellow card for. I still am trying to figure. The only thing I can think of is that it was delay of game, which I still don't understand because I don't think he took an abnormally long amount of time with the ball.
He did in the first half. He was taking a very long. He was taking 25, maybe 30 seconds to throw the ball in. If you looked at what they were doing, PSG, a ball would stop and they would run over, get the ball, and put it down for us to play it in.
Mm-hmm.
So if the ball bounced away for a throw in, they would get the ball that was on the little ball stand and they'd bring it over and either hand it or put it at the feet of the guy who's going to throw it in. So they were trying to play quickly. And maybe that's because they were trying to score because they were behind. But we did the thing that we do, and we just slowed the game down. So I wasn't surprised if that's what they gave him that for. But I thought the ball just turned over. Why give a yellow card? Just give them the ball.
Just throw the ball in and
let
them have it?
I'm saying referee, I thought the rule was you don't give him a yellow card. You give possession of the throw-in to the other team.
Well, and I will say there was that point in the first half where their player essentially puts his elbow right on Kai's throat when he's trying to throw the ball in quickly, right? So I don't understand that part of it either. So if you're talking delay of game, I still don't understand why Mascara gets the yellow card because
he took too long to throw the ball.
Because now he's on a yellow card and he still has to defend Kvara, and if Dembele comes on his side, he's got to defend him. So it makes it really, really complicated for Mascara to have any kind of success in the second half.
Right.
Carrying that yellow card. So a bit later in the match, the PSG does finally get the equalizer on a penalty. That Kava Mascara penalty. It's a penalty, right? I mean, there's no doubt about that.
And we're lucky he didn't get a second yellow.
To get booted out of the game, right?
Right. I think I would have had him out immediately.
And I think shortly after that's when Timber comes in, right? Timber comes in to play the rest of the match.
Much longer than I wanted it to be.
Much longer from when he got penalty
keep talking
shout.
And I'll look at it. Yeah.
Because I think it was probably it was a few minutes after that.
65-minute penalty. Other side. Yeah, he goes out at 66. So yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought it was like 10 minutes longer, maybe because it took so long to do the penalty, but yeah.
Yeah. And because they did review it. I'm not sure exactly what they were reviewing. We couldn't really hear that in the bar. There was not a whole lot of.
No, there was a lot of shouting, and there was a lot of what was the cheer? We're fucking bored.
Yeah.
God, that frustrated
me.
That was so. I just gotta say that was so annoying. We're in a Champions League final, and
you should not be bored.
It looks like every game we play when we're playing against a better team than we are. And they chanted for 10 minutes almost in a row.
Yeah. There was that.
I didn't like that at all.
Everything sort of settles down back into the familiar pattern that was the first half at that stage. I don't think there's any opportunities really for Arsenal for the rest of this half. And I don't know how you felt about game concludes full time, right? And this thing is really tilted the wrong way for us. But we're still in the match 1-1. How are you feeling heading into the extra time? Are
I
you sort of, hey, let's play for the penalties, or are you, let's get what we can on and then see how it goes?
I think they pushed forward a lot. I think they were open. I think they're fast, but there were several times. I wanted to rewatch the game so I could have specifics for this, but then we promised we were going to do this today, and I just didn't make the time. I'm not going to lie, because it was too frustrating. But I felt like there were several times, let's call it 3 or 4 times, where we had something over the top or through that split their defenders, that we had somebody to run onto it. I think there was one on the right-hand side that was Madueke that he got caught, but he had a chance to get through. There was one, I think, on the left that was Gyökeres, and he couldn't get through. He got caught. But they're the right guy in the right circumstance, and just that maybe one more yard of opportunity. Those were the balls that we should have been trying every time we got the ball. Because if we did that, it's kind of like if you think American football, right? You throw to open the run, you run to open the throw. So we can't get through them. So if we can't run, like in American football, you can't run the ball, you have to start throwing it over the top to spread their defense out lengthwise. We needed to put those balls through so that they could spread out width and length of the pitch, so that we'd have ability to break that press. And we fucking didn't. We just didn't. And so that in the extra time is what I wanted to see at the end of the game. And in the extra time, we needed to be pushing that through. And we had speed, fresh legs from Madueke. We had fresh legs from Gyökeres. We had fresh legs from, which I thought we should have had a lot sooner, from Martinelli.
Yeah, I mean, you made the comment because Martinelli and Madueke come in at the same time, right? And Gyökeres was already in the match. So 83 minutes, they make that sub. And what was the comment you made to me at that point was,
XG
this front three is
0.3 or something like that. Whatever the number is when the 3 of them are in there.
It's not a good lineup to have. And having that 3 combination together just doesn't work to create chances.
I would have liked to have seen, for that reason, I would have liked to have seen Martinelli start, which I already said, because then as a finisher, you have something different when you bring Madueke in on the opposite side, in bringing Trossard in, or you can put Eze on that left side.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think these were the correct subs, even though you did bring on speed.
But they can be the right subs. I don't mean to cut you off here, but they can be the right subs if you use them. There are strengths and weaknesses in every player. And so when you bring on these 3, what they bring that the other 3 they replaced don't bring is that speed. None of the other 3 have that level of speed, although we did see some speed from Kai. But none of the 3 that were starters have the same kind of speed that the finishers have. And so use what you've got in those players instead of trying to fit them into the same patterns.
Yeah, it would. Well, so a bit later in that extra time, we do get the chance from Madueke, and I do want to talk a little bit about this penalty shout that was had, because Madueke does get by, what is his
Hakimi
name? Yeah, he gets by, no, it's he gets by Mendes.
Okay.
Right, he gets past him, and he does get a step on him. He's inside him. They're inside the 18-yard box, and Mendes basically bundles him over. Now, to me, I believe that should be looked at. VAR should have had a look at it.
Maybe they
All
did.
indications are that they did not. All indications are that they didn't even take a look at it. They weren't as concerned with it at all. It reminded me of the penalty shout that we got for against Leverkusen, back in the, what was it, the round of 16 or the quarterfinals round. And they did, at that point, they did call a penalty. So I guess I'm a bit confused as to why that one was, this one isn't. And frustrated by that one, because I think that it is more of a penalty than not a penalty. What do you?
I think that's right.
I mean, I think it is, and it's frustrating to me because, and you know, we haven't touched on the ref, and I don't really want to talk too much about the referee, but I did think he was more lenient for the PSG players and allowing them to get a little more on the Arsenal players than he was for the Arsenal players. If the Arsenal barely touched him, it was going to go down as a foul. So I was frustrated by that in the second half, and it really doubled down in this extra time when this penalty shout goes up, and he doesn't even consider it.
Yeah, I made a comment about that, about why I always feel like I root for teams that.
Right, it was that are always have to play against not only the team that they're playing against, but also the refereeing, how many ever referees there are.
Right. And it, you know, it doesn't matter the sport, the team that I'm rooting for. It just feels like I don't get the rub of the green. You know, it feels like I don't get the lucky call, the team that I'm rooting for. And so we're all talking about Arsenal, but how many times when have you ever seen a player get back-to-back yellow cards on the same play?
Oh, yeah, you're going.
When have you ever seen a player?
Never.
Once. When has a player in the last year and a half gotten a yellow card that sent him off the pitch for tapping the ball away for a delay of game? When have you seen, since the last year or so, this season, when have you seen a player head the ball and then touch another guy's head with his head and get a red card?
And a penalty, yes.
When have you seen? I mean, we could do this all day.
We can go back to Van Persie in Barcelona if you want.
When have you ever seen somebody, when the crowd is so loud and the whistle blows and he shoots the ball within maybe it's a snap and a half, you know,
sure,
and gets a second yellow and gets sent off? Like, when? That never happens, and it always seems like it's us, and we're not just playing the opponent, we're playing the system. We're playing the referee, we're playing the system. And I felt very much like that in this game, and it's maybe it's coming out more now because this is therapy, but I just feel really frustrated right now about all of this.
Yeah, well, I was most frustrated about this call in particular because I do think it's a penalty. He's got a step on him, and something was going to happen. Either Madueke was going to shoot, he was going to be able to cut it back for a shot. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen, but this guy, Mendes, doesn't let it, falls over and bundles into him. It's a penalty for me.
The thing that he gets away with is if he pulled on a shoulder, it's it. If he pulled a shirt, it's a foul. But he kind of like, he used his shoulder, not his arm, not his hand, and then kind of like jumped on him like he was jumping into a mosh pit to knock him down, and made it look like he was falling and happened to fall into, you know what I mean? And if it looks like an accident and it smells like an accident, then it's easier to say, oh, that was accidental. The problem is that accidents happen. I didn't mean to step on your foot.
Still a foul.
Right? I didn't mean to kick your leg before I kicked the ball when you gave the penalty earlier. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. So it doesn't matter if he meant to foul him. He did, I believe. I think he jumped on him like he was jumping into a mosh pit on purpose. But even if it looked like an accident, it's still a foul if it's an accident, because you prevented him from doing the thing he wanted to do.
Correct. Well, you know my stance on it. It's a penalty all day long, and unfortunately, it was not called that way. I don't believe it was looked at. The articles that I've looked at say it wasn't. I don't think we heard anything about VAR being checked. I think Rice goes on to get a yellow card, uh, shortly after this, because he was wearing the captain's armband at this point. I want to point out, and he goes to the ref. Hey, ref, is this being looked at? He's just trying to figure out, did VAR take a look at this? Because clearly the Arsenal sideline wanted them to have a look, because it's a clear shout for a penalty.
I think he gets the yellow probably because he said something like, "What the fuck is going on over there?" Using the hand motion.
Right,
Like,
is
anybody looking at that? You know what I mean? Like,
Rice is such a nice guy. I cannot see him cursing at anybody. There's no way. So I don't think he's doing much of that, but I don't understand why he got the yellow card, but it's clearly a result of him asking for the VAR explanation, and the ref just doesn't want to hear it and decides to make the game about him and gives him a yellow card. But we do get, as far as I'm concerned, Eric, and I know, we talk about the almost 900 passes that PSG made. The defending was excellent by Arsenal, and PSG had run out of ideas. They were essentially just doing cross after cross after cross after cross, which was great because we had Gabby and Saliba and everybody else to clean up all of that stuff. Our folks were ready for that kind of a match, and yeah, they were out of ideas, clearly out of ideas.
Here's what I have to say: 1-1, still 1-1. Hold on 1 second. 1-2. Give me a second here. And so 1-2 and 4-3. So their back four committed 4 fouls and won 3 fouls. How does their back four commit in that game? You saw it with your eyes. How does that back four commit 4 fouls? The center backs committed 0 between them. The only one who had more than one is Mendes, and there's no way that he only committed 3 fouls.
Yes, I'm with you. I believe that the PSG players were allowed to get a lot more on the Arsenal players before they were called for fouls.
We only committed 2.
More.
We only committed 2, our back four, by the way, and they only drew 1.
That's a surprise.
One.
So one of them was
so Mascara had 1, and Hincapié had 1, and that's it. And yeah,
that is a bit of a surprise.
But I'll go back and count. How about this? When I rewatch, I'll go back and count
the number of times.
Yeah, that I think that was a foul. That was a foul. That was a foul. And I'll do it on all the players.
If it's
do the whole thing.
If it's being fairly, if everything being equal, everything's being ref the same.
If Eric,
every collision is the same.
You can't call all of them.
No, you're never.
I'm the ref. I'm calling these are the ones, and we'll see. And I'm just interested. I'm interested.
Now you have a task. Oh, this will be fun. It does go to penalty kick shootouts. And
I want you to talk about this because you were talking yesterday after the game about maybe we were standing on the street. I don't know. How do you line up? First of all, how do you choose who your kickers are if you're the chooser? Second of all, when you know who your top 5 are, in what order do those top 5 kick?
Yeah, so first off, we had a lot of our primary penalty kick takers were off. We did have Gyökeres on.
Is that bad? Is that bad game management, by the way?
No, I don't think so.
From the first minute?
I do not think that you try to you're not thinking about this is going to go to penalties, so I need to save my best penalty takers. You don't do, I'm going to put this guy on in the 118th minute because I want them available to shoot a penalty, right? You don't do that. No,
Right.
that's not smart because they're cold. They're not in the feel of the game. It's not smart.
That's what that 2 minutes is for.
But you do the you could barely get a sprint. What if the ball doesn't go? You got to touch the ball. You got to get a feel for the game in order to take a penalty. But of the personnel, I do question the personnel selections that we had or that we made. But if you're talking you've decided who your best 5 are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your number 1 penalty taker should be shooting third.
Who shoots
Because
first?
who shoots first? Your second best out of the 5, your second best should be taking that one. Because you want to get off to a good start. You want that one to go in. The third place, so your best penalty taker should be kicking third. Because at that point, you might be either finishing off the penalty rounds because you've gotten up by a goal, or you desperately need that penalty to go in so that you can stay in the rounds of penalties, right? So that's who kicks second. I put it as your 4th best because that's not the all important one. You still have places 3, 4, and 5 to go as far as that goes. So if you make those 3, 4, and 5, you're in good shape. So I would put number
2,
4.
4, 1.
2, 4, 1, and then your 5th best going 4th, which I know that seems a bit counterintuitive, but by that time you may have it wound. You may have that wrapped up, and it may not be as pressure-packed of a kick. I know that's the one that's a bit of a risk.
And then third goes last.
Yes, your third best goes last. So you're saving somebody that's really good to have that last one because you know it's going to be an important one.
It's not often that the 5th one is the finish it off. It is enough, but I specifically brought up that Portugal got in a shootout. I don't remember when this was, and they lost it. And Ronaldo didn't even get a chance to kick.
Never got a chance
to
kick.
Put him in 5th, and he never had a chance to score. And so you wonder, well, what if he had that chance to score and somebody else went? Just there's all these.
You don't want to leave your best. Your best guy should be taking it when it matters.
So we had our best guy go first.
I think that's the case. We did have our best guy. We had Gyökeres go first.
And then
he was our best.
Who went second?
Eze went second.
Misses.
Rice goes third.
Raya saves for their third.
Right. So it's
Rice comes in and scores. So now it's 2-2. 4th up for us is Martinelli.
And he was fantastic.
Buries it. And he just walked up and kicked it.
Yes, he did not mess around.
No messing around.
He was great.
He knew what he wanted to do. You can't worry about the goalie, what the goalie's going to do. You can't wait for him to move and then you change your mind because he went the way you were going to go. Yeah, and there was all this talk about Eze, and that's what Eze did. He was going to go right, and then he switched at the last swing of his leg, at the only swing, because he stutter stepped, and he was going to go right. Goalie dives to the goalie's left, and he swings too hard and puts it wide by a mile. It wasn't even close.
Yes, that I think is probably the most disappointing penalty that was taken.
Do you think it was because he changed his mind?
No. So as I watched it, the goalie did not move, and maybe he knew that Eze's penalty preference was, if the goalie moves, I go the other way. So the smart thing for the goalie to do is just stand in the middle and let him try to do it. That's the intimidation that the goalie had, and I don't think the goalie moved. I'd have to go rewatch that one specifically, but I don't think the goalie moved.
Maybe he started going left a little in my mind. I don't know.
Because it seemed like Eze was stutter stepping a lot longer than he normally does. Okay. That's the one part that I'll point out. And we get to Gabby, and all reports are that Big Gabby says, I want to shoot 5th. Now, how do you feel about somebody that comes up and tells you, I want to take the last one. What are your thoughts on that? If somebody, if
They
you
better
were to go
fucking
to your
marry it.
coach, right? If you were the coach, I want to take the fifth one. I've got this. Now, remember, I don't think Gabby's taken a penalty for the club at all, ever.
You've got the thing is you've got Madueke, who has taken penalties, who has wanted to take penalties and had the ball taken, but we know he can take penalties.
Yes, he's
there was
good
a
at
whole
it.
fight where he wanted it, and Cole Palmer ended up getting it, and he was all pissy because he didn't get to do it. We know he can take penalties, and he's good to do it. He should have taken the fifth penalty. And then you've got another midfielder, and there's an argument that I was having with some folks on a text group, and my argument is and this excludes the fact that you played center back for our team in college, and you were our penalty taker.
Yes.
You were our designated number one penalty taker. So excluding that fact, which I acknowledge, right? But I think that I think that you have to look at somebody who kicks the ball to be accurate, not just kicking the ball to be kicking the ball in anger. And a defender kicks the ball like, I got to clear this ball, right?
Yes, his primary job is to clear. That's his muscle
Correct.
movement. That's his muscle memory.
So shooting is something that Madueke does every day of his life. Shooting is something that Zubamendi will do many days. And they've both scored plenty of goals this year. Not enough, but they've scored. When Gabby scores, he scores what?
It's all with his head.
He scores with his head. If he scores with his feet, it's from a yard, not 12.
True. Yes.
These guys practice shooting the ball. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about the game.
Whoa, Allen Iverson.
We're talking about the game, not practice. The game. Those guys did practice this. He doesn't practice this. Why is he taking the fifth? I would have said, no way in hell are you taking this shot. You can take it seventh if we get there.
Yes, my eyes got really wide when I saw him lining up for it, and I thought, oh, this is either really good or really bad.
Because you have to know what you're trying to do.
Yes, he's got to have everything spot on. And then it was like, he's a lefty. Oh, this is not gonna. I was concerned, and as I've seen some photos of when the ball comes off of his foot, and you just see it, and it's his body's all wrong for the shot. It's all wrong. Either that ball never had a chance, and it goes
How many
over.
yards over?
Oh, it's easily like 2. And here's what happened for me. It's just like, that's it. All this work, this whole season, you said 63 games. We get down to the 63rd game, and that's it. It's done. The suddenness of it, I guess, is what struck me as, oh, this stinks. So penalty kick shootouts are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, you either win your last game of the season or you lose your last game of the season.
Yeah, there's only one team that wins their last game, right?
When it's I mean,
of that competition. Yeah.
Yes. When it's a cup competition. When it's a cup competition, only one team wins and the other team. So like, yeah, it was frustrating, and I don't think I blame him. I think there's a captain on the pitch. There's a captain on the sideline. There's managers, and I think
you grab the player and say, no.
Yeah, all of that needed to be discussed at some point. There's plenty of time to go through it. And
yeah, it seems odd to me so the only 2 times that I've seen Arteta go with his gut, he's been sort of punished for those. There was the Kepa getting him to start in the Soda Cup final, right? He's that sentimental, okay, he's my cup goalkeeper. He's going to do that. And then we've got this example of the sentimentality of Gabby's been such a great Great player for us over so many seasons. Yes. You said you want to do it? Yes. Great. Go to it.
There's also that moment where if you're hot and you're like, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it, and now you've got
five you're sitting through all of the
15
shots.
minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes of like, oh shit, what did I just say?
Right.
So maybe some of that came in. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way you can't back out of it at that point. So match ends, we're done. Boy, that place cleared out pretty quick. That much I'll say.
The bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, there was a lot of support. It was very clear from Arsenal America. So sign up for Arsenal America if you haven't. There are loads and loads and loads of national and international Arsenal supporters clubs. So Charm City Gooners is one of them that we like. We're local too. So sign up, find out who they are. Nashville Gooners, Sacramento Gooners.
Yeah. I encourage you to go watch a game with everybody because lots of good support, lots of fun to talk to other fans.
But even if you're not local and they're the closest club to you, sign up and support that local club.
Right. Yes.
Sign up and support that local supporters club. Local meaning if they're near you, even if you live an hour away or something, support that club because they support things that happen. Our local Charm City Gooners, they'll have things where, you can either win something or, they plan trips to go over to see games once or twice a year, so there's ways that you can get connected. Even if you don't go there, you might get connected where you go to England and you go to a game.
Sure.
Because they can get tickets. You can't because they're tied into Arsenal America. So support your local, clubs and everything. And then, that feeds all the way up to the club as well.
That's good.
And Lives was great. So find out who your local, I have a list of some of them, but find out who your local, even if it's not through one of the supporters clubs, where are Arsenal people watching these games? Find out over the summer and start going because you'll start hugging people you don't even know.
It's a wonderful community. And just to hammer home the point on that, I think I read articles that there were riots in the streets in Paris because you win. I don't understand that. You saw how when Arsenal clinched the Premier League, it's a very calm procession to the Emirates Stadium and everybody's hugging and it's different. Arsenal fans are different and you should know that. We are not like other fans.
I saw some Arsenal supporters in maybe it was Nigeria or somewhere in Africa, but they were kids and they were in the 50s. They used to do those dances where you'd line up and somebody would go down or a couple would go down through the middle to do their special thing. And then the line
like in Greece. Yeah. Like
yes.
Greece. Yes.
So exactly. They were kind of doing something like that. They were all kind of standing around and someone would jump in the middle and do their little dance and sing part of the song and jump back out. And then after like a minute of that, where everybody had their chance to do their own thing, they had this coordinated dance that they did. And then I loved it.
Oh,
yes.
fun.
Well, the song was still going on. And so they were doing, and it looked like it was they were in a music video. It was incredible. And it was part of just the celebration, stuff that I saw on social media. And it was beautiful to watch. And to your point, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch other teams celebrate their victories. Why would I? But it felt very, it was fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a certain amount of joy that has happened with the club winning the Premier League. And I think that same amount of joy would have been replicated, if not more, for when winning the Champions League. But it was unfortunate this year; came a little short.
Here's what I know, and we're getting up to. I can't believe we went this long again.
I know
every single time. Okay, here's what. Come on, man. had some things.
Ooh, things. Do tell.
So I just can't get there, Matt. I just can't get there. What the?
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll get there. We'll ad
Here we
lib a
go.
little
There it
bit.
goes. All right.
Okay.
So Arteta, it's very tough when you're so consistent in the competition all the way to the final, and at the end you lose the trophy on a penalty kick. It's difficult. I'm so proud of them. It's just a privilege to manage this group of players, this team, the way they carry this badge, and how much they put into it. Odegaard, we need to take time in order to get over this loss. The season's been amazing in a lot of different ways. We couldn't quite do the double, but we have to be proud of our performance. Done some incredible things, and we had a great run in the Champions League. We just have to use the feeling we have now and also the positive feelings from this season to reflect on it all and make sure we come back even stronger next season. Rice, it's devastating to lose the Champions League final on penalties. We try to take a lot of perspective from how far we've come as a group. It's been an incredible season. This was our 63rd game tonight. We've given it absolutely everything up to this point, and it's a lottery. Some of the best teams ever have lost on penalties.
It's a lottery, meaning the penalty. It came to penalties. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of things that their players
Yeah.
and managers said. I talked about how he said about both teams could have won it. There's what I was looking for. Oh no, I didn't want to get rid of that one. There's one more thing here. Okay, so Arsenal lost the final, but they found out who they are. What do you think about that?
They found out who they are based on this final. No. That's who they don't know who they are going to find out who they are. Because remember, this is a staged process. This is always Arteta has always talked about all these stages of development of this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, are they ahead of schedule? Are they behind schedule in his stages?
What do you think?
I think they were behind 1 year as far as the Premier League goes. I don't know that they're behind in the Champions League. I mean, look, this was sort of an extra as far as I was concerned this year. Getting into the Champions League final and having a shot at that cup was an extra. It wasn't mandatory, right?
I think the second year that we finished second, that was the year that City rolled up behind us and caught us, and we beat West Ham and they beat Tottenham
on the last day.
They shouldn't have had the chance to beat Tottenham to beat us. We should have had enough. We should have done enough along the way. That was the year. So this means we're 1, 2, and then this year. So this is the two seasons in between when I thought we should have won it. We should have won it the year before Liverpool won it.
But to go back to your point, I don't think they're where they're. This is not a finished team by any stretch of the imagination. I think there's a whole side of offensive explosion that needs to be worked on and will be worked on. The defensive structures and all that playing out of possession, all that stuff is done. That is dusted. We know how to do that. Now it's the next phase of this project is let's get the offense kicking. So we'll see.
This story arc for me, Arsenal knows what it takes, whether they know who they are now or not. I think they know what it takes now.
That's different question. Okay,
this hurt of a final is important, but the squad is young. Arteta is now proven, right? Proven. We've got all this Champions League and Premier League money and pedigree behind us. So we've got, this tailwind instead of headwind. Instead of always having this, when are you going to win it? When now you've got this tailwind, we've done it, right? Desiree Douay said, we are a young team and we want more. about PSG, and I think Arsenal can say the same thing. And it will be interesting to see who's going to break this. That's two of the last four in the last 2 years. So they beat us in the semifinal last year. They beat us in the final this year. It's two of the last four. So who else is going to be in there? Who I'm trying to remember who was in last year on the semifinal.
Oh, there. Who was in the? It was Inter, and it was.
And they blew up Inter in the final.
Who was the other team in the?
Was it Bayern again?
I don't think so, but
yeah. So, matter. But the point is like these two teams. Who's gonna come up and beat these two teams in the Champions League before we get to the semifinals? Because it's clear that they know how to play. Arsenal know how to play through the league phase. This suits us. The league phase seems to suit us.
Yes.
It suits Arteta. He knows how to do it, whereas other managers haven't quite figured it out yet.
Correct. The part I would say there, how to even say this, they've definitely learned their lessons, right, through all of these different phases and these different stages. The thing that there's benefits, like Bayern Munich has a significant advantage, right? They're playing in the German league, which is not as competitive as the league that Arsenal play in. Every week in the Premier League, the number 20 team can beat the number 1 team. It can happen.
They play 4 less games
always.
As well.
And right, correct. So you're also talking about a PSG team who, I don't know, they don't have to play their regulars all the time. They're so deep, and that French league is just, well, it's not as good as the Premier League. It's not as competitive because they don't necessarily have the money.
Yeah, the coefficients are that a good number of the championship teams in England are actually
better,
higher in coefficient than maybe 6 or 8 of them are
so
higher in coefficient than mid-table and below French teams. You know?
Have Wrexham go win the French league. So. That to me is a part of this, Eric, because PSG doesn't have to play all of their players all the time. They can rest them. They can have their players be ready for the big matches when they need them. So that's how I see it. It'll be fun to beat them. How's that?
Yeah. Well, and we beat them in the league phase, but we haven't beaten them when it mattered. So it will be fun to beat them.
Yeah, it'll be fun to beat them.
Well, so this was double what I thought it was going to be, but maybe it was a little bit of therapy for me.
Yes, I think there's a fair amount of that to be had in this episode.
Hopefully it serves as therapy for some of the other folks listening right now as well.
And
I mean, I did put some videos out. So, if you want to see what we were doing, check those out. Got this shirt yesterday. This is for the listeners, not watchers. This is the away kit, the blue,
the current away
purpley
kit.
blue away kit. So I ended up picking this one up.
With all the lightning stripes, the lightning bolts on it. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And what are you wearing? The 19?
I'm going back to the Dreamcast days. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast sort of Nike stuff.
I like it.
Nike.
I do like Adidas better. We had that conversation yesterday.
Adidas is superior.
But yeah, some of the Nike ones were good. They were the 02 years.
Yeah, that's true. They were those.
Okay. Well,
we're gonna get together and do some sort of recap of the whole season at some point, right?
And I'm hoping that we have Keir and Sam from North London is Red podcast as well. I would very much like to connect again on that one. And I have not connected with them on that. But I'm hoping that maybe school is out and we get a chance on perhaps a Saturday morning for us, Saturday afternoon for them. But it depends on his football schedule too. He's a football player. So,
Yep.
It depends on the practice and all that schedule. So we'll have to see. But at some point this summer, we're going to have that mashup, that collab, and we're going to do a recap of the season. I say give it a week to a week and a half. I need a little bit of a break, and we'll see. And you're going to have a season recap for the women.
Yeah, I'm planning on a season recap for the women because this is a big summer for the women for sure. I was just reading that Katie McCabe may be going to Chelsea, which is just an absolute kick in the. So that would not be fun.
Keister is the word you're looking for.
Yes, that's specifically the word I was looking for. Keister, spell it. Yeah, so I'll do a wrap up of that. I do.
It's spelled Kvara.
No, that one I can say. This one I can't. And I think we'll do some things over the summer.
Yeah, we definitely will. But I'm not even thinking about that. I want to take 10 days and maybe not next Sunday, but the Wednesday following.
Get a break.
Yeah. Give me some time to review some of these games, rewatch some of these games, some moments, think about big moments across the course of the season, positive and negative, that affected, the whats and the whys, and then go from there. Because I mean, just the injury to Timber, you think about, like, would that have had an effect on that game yesterday? Maybe not, because Mascara played a pretty good game. I mean, there's the one incident.
That one thing.
There's the one incident, and I mean, at the end of the day, that's why we lost the game.
Yep.
We don't. That doesn't happen. Maybe we win this game 1-0, but maybe isn't real. So
yeah, true.
Anyhow, as always, it's good to have you listening, all the listeners.
Yeah, it's always great.
It's been a great season, and I'm happy. I think overall, I won't be disappointed in losing because we won. We came home with a trophy, and we needed to.
We came home with the trophy that everybody wanted. I think at the end of the day, the Champions League was the extra.
That's right.
And nobody cared about the domestic cups. I don't care what anybody tells you.
I was just going to say, nobody cared about a quadruple.
Nope. And there never was. That was invented by media bollocks. So
I wonder when we're going to get, last thing I'm going to say besides the thing, doing the thing, is I wonder what's going to happen with 115 charges.
Oh, that'll be fun to watch. I mean, clearly something, but it'll be.
We said that last summer, and we said that the summer before. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Pep was still there. Pep is leaving. That's the precursor. That was always the precursor for me. That was always the thing that had to happen first before the charges get dealt with.
And we haven't heard who the manager is yet, even though Maresca's getting
tabbed as the tab.
Yes, but I wonder if these things are going to happen. I don't want to be the manager if they go down.
Why would you go?
Even if they get 60 points, or something, 100 points, whatever it is, there's
1,000 points.
There's a really no, but I'm just saying, if you get 50 or 60 points, that's the number I picked, 60. Like if you get 60 points deduction, you're going down. There's no way they're getting 100 points again in this league next year.
Nope.
And you need to get 40. And so if they get 60 point deduction, they'll be in the league next year, but then they're going to go down.
And nobody's going to want to play for them.
Right.
So why would you want to be manager? I think got to have out clauses. They're not.
I don't know.
Those players aren't dumb. Their agents aren't dumb. They're not going to have anything in there that says, "Oh, if these 115 charges come through, we get out of this contract." Right? Yes.
I would love to see every one of those guys get relegated and stuck, to be honest.
I would love it if they all got stuck. That's true. But I guess that's just
because I don't know if you have a relegation clause if you're at a team like Arsenal or Chelsea or
Tottenham.
You might now. Apparently they do have them. Apparently they already do have them. So I don't know if you have relegation clause. And I actually have the contract that's the base contract most of these guys use. I remember talking about that before.
Mm.
So we'll see. Maybe I don't know
Okay.
if it's in there. I know that generally speaking, it is. I don't know if Arsenal has it because I don't know what the chances we think we're going to have of going down are. Anyhow, good to see your
Not even a
face.
thought. Good to see you.